Okay, welcome to One Stop Co-op Shop. This is Steve. I'm here with Kanji from Canje Studios.
Hello.
How's it going, Kanji?
All right. How's it going with you?
Good. We are unfortunately missing one of the awesome trio. Bairnt unfortunately cannot make it today, but he should be here next week, hopefully, if nothing else changes. But
Yeah.
that's fine. We move on anyway. So this is co-op chat. We're going to talk about cooperative games. And this week, and actually next week as well, we're kind of taking a break from all the I don't say no new stuff, but we are looking back at the first half of the year because we're at the midpoint of the year. And so today we're going to look at the top 5 games we previewed. And so we're going to talk about those games, and then get into probably a little bit at games that didn't make the list for what reason, some other games we previewed, and then next week we'll talk about the top 5 games we've played so far, and these are all so far at the end of them, right?
Right. So far.
Exactly. Okay, but yes, we are watching the comments. So, if you has any questions as we go through, you want to hear more about these games? Let us know. But let us start with the first one. It's going to be number 5 for games previewed. It's going to be Rogue Angels. So this is one that we played a couple times together on the channel as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. I know Bairnt is like insanely excited for this. I thought it was a fun game. The variety in characters, where each one was completely like they had their own unique thing. I think that was pretty cool. That he had so many already. I think that was pretty awesome as well. The gameplay in terms of the board mechanic, I felt the dry erase thing of kind of bubbling in and building out your character over the campaign. Having those extra abilities on the cards, being able to upgrade those card abilities themselves. So it's like, from what I see, you never change, you never like remove a card and add a card. You can add other cards in of like tech upgrades, but nothing else. But not much more besides that. But you got the stickers that you put on cards to power them up, which would give you a little bit more abilities. I like that. The combat board was small. The dice were I they are no fail dice, and what I mean by no fail dice is that there's not a miss. It's
Yeah.
but if you roll and you just didn't get what you were looking for, that's what happens. But it wasn't there's not a straight up, all right, I'm terrible at dice rolling, so therefore I will fail all the time.
Yeah, I like and how the dice rolling. Oftentimes when we were playing, we were trying to leverage that to our advantage to get ourselves in position or recuperate some resources or something like that, which kind of added to the strategy for this one.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
I'm surprised with how many characters are in the game. Like you said, like 20 already ready to go, and I can't remember how many I've played. Only a handful of them, small portion.
Yeah.
They all seem very unique too, different. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I think that they'll be a lot of fun. This is an interesting one in terms of how you build it out. It's got that. It's not the true kind, and so everyone has this set. And as we talk about other games, it's become a new thing, and they've attributed it to Madara, where it's you start off with a template or a palette, a blank palette, and you get to put on and build the character how you want. It doesn't have that fully, because some characters are built a certain way, and so you have to use them that way. But that doesn't take away from the enjoyment of the game.
Absolutely, yeah. They definitely have their specialities because they even come with unique deck of cards. And I thought the card play in this one was very good as well.
Yeah,
The figuring out like where to put things in the time track and trying to figure out
yeah,
like, well, I need the slot open, so I can't play this one at this spot because it'll mess with me, and that added a really fun decision space.
yeah. I agree. I liked all of that. Get all your cards, play them however you want, as long as they land in the timeline properly. How wounds work in the game are really cool. I mean, to me, it's and I know the story's still being fleshed out. But once that story gets fleshed out, it just wraps the thing up in a nice little bow, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. I think this is a good one. This will be a good one when it comes back to Kickstarter.
Yeah, I agree. And even the the AI as well. It's nice that you might have a lot of characters on the board, but only two of them
Two,
activates.
two of them activate. Yep,
So you're not
yep.
like moving like a bajillion people at one time. You know, it's still a threat, but it's not like overwhelming with maintenance. Is what comes down to it.
Yeah. Snow says this game has one bad quote unquote thing, drawing on the cards. Although I know they offer the erasable thing. Well, I know that there's stickers, but you're drawing
Yes.
on the erasable board, and a lot of people don't like that. Is the same thing with Explore It. A lot of people didn't like Explore It because of the dry erase board thing. It didn't bug me. So, and of course, you can always remember that in this space, we we solve problems that we don't enjoy about games by introducing quote unquote bling, right? So if you don't want to use the dry erase board, use dice. If you don't want to use dice, use a sheet of paper. I mean, you
Yep.
have options. So I wouldn't let the dry erase boards be a hindrance to playing the game.
Yeah, I mean, I've even laminated boards, and then you can write on them with dry erase if
Yep.
you don't want to mark them up. I
I've
mean,
done that too.
pretty. There's solutions, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Cool. Okay. Yeah, this one I think this one's coming back in September or
I
October.
think so. I think that's what he said. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I plan to back it.
Yeah,
So I think it'll be good.
yeah, I'm very much looking forward to backing this one as well at this point. So
Yeah.
it was really cool. Very cool game.
And by that time, I will have recovered from Gen Con. So I should have money again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's move on to the next one. Move on to number 4. Oops, what am I doing here? I'm having so many problems with my controls here, apparently. All right, there we go. Number 4. Oh, it says Snow says, I know that some games are meant to be just enjoyed for one-time experience, and so it shouldn't be detrimental that you draw on stuff or tear it up. But I don't want such a game, which is fair.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
Fair.
fair.
Yep.
No, no, no. Don't feel like you're being old and grumpy. I mean, the legacy games are hard for me because when they like tear the card up, I'm like, no, I paid money for this. Are you mad?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I've never torn up a single card in a legacy game. I've just been like, okay, I'm gonna put that in the box and not look at it anymore. So
Yeah,
yeah, I get it.
that's what I did too. Actually, I kept my all my cards because I actually kept them to the side. So when like little kids come over and they want to play a game, I just give them these cards and they destroy them. That's fine. That's supposed to be destroyed anyway. So
So go for it. Have at them.
exactly. Okay, let's move on to number 4. This one probably isn't too much of a surprise because I know we were really excited about this one. Title Blades 2 specifically.
Yeah, I'll let you talk about this one only because I haven't played this one yet. I didn't preview this, but I did watch the preview and the fighting in the book. Jaws of the Lion like built up for that because I didn't realize how much I hated putting tiles together until like Jaws of the Lion came out and there was a book. And I was like, oh my gosh, I hate putting tiles together.
Yes.
So, and that's my grumpy old man. Is that I hate putting tiles together. Is because and the books sound great. The mechanic of the grid. I want to hear your thoughts on kind of what you thought about that, and just overall as a whole.
Yeah. Yeah, this one is what do you call like an adventure game, campaign game?
Mm, yeah.
Not really a dungeon crawl. You're not in a dungeon. It's actually I really like how bright this game is. It's very I get beach vibes when I look at the art and the waves and everything. So, yeah, very cool setting as you level up through the game. But yes, let's talk about the grid real quick. So I have it on the screen right now if you're happy watching the video here, but it's pretty cool. You got a 3x3 or 9 space grid, and you will place one of your cards on the grid, and then you choose either a row or column to activate. And you get the symbols in that order. And at any time you have it completely filled with cards, you would then pick those cards up and then replay them again later at a later time. But the board itself has things printed on it as well. However, the things printed on your board are not as powerful as the cards you play generally, and so there's be ebbs and flows of like rise up to some really powerful effects down to lower ones, and trying to figure out how to if I put this in the corner, can I leverage this ability multiple times? It is that was a big surprise for me how that worked. Um, I really enjoyed the puzzle. I was I wasn't looking for another campaign game, to be honest, but this one,
Mhm.
when I played it, I was like, man, there's not much. I mean, I was trying to pick out little things I didn't like about it, and there really isn't
There
much of
wasn't much
anything.
that was there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
What was the
smooth.
who's the company that made this?
This one is Skybound, I believe, the publisher. Skybound Games. I'm pretty positive.
It's
It's at the
probably gonna
bottom.
be
Oh,
all the
Druid
way at
City.
the
Druid City.
Druid City Games. Okay, okay.
So,
Yeah, so I'm definitely curious about it. I didn't do the RPG book. D&D has my life, and so
mhm.
and to my life it shall remain. But the game itself seems pretty cool. I backed this one. So I've never played Tidal Blaze. I didn't play the first one at all. I think I don't think the first one fell into what I was like, but it sounds like this one they came back, they changed some stuff, and then they built on it. So I'm definitely curious as to how this is going to play.
Yeah, I really like this one, and it's only like it's not too many scenarios as well. It seems pretty fairly short, but a lot of ways to level up. This one you do have a sheet you fill out your piece of paper you write on for your character progression.
Okay.
Snow had an interesting question here. Talk about this. How do you feel about stories spanning different games that have different modes? And this is a good point to bring up specifically for this game because, like I said, you didn't play the first one. I did play the first one, and they have a third one already coming out already. And the first one was like a competitive. What
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Competitive something. I can forget it off the top of my head. Um, and then now the second one is a cooperative like dungeon crawl adventure game, and the third one is something entirely different as well, back to a competitive game. And it's a
Yeah.
cohesive story across them, but you don't need to know the story. But like for me, I'm probably only going to play this one because it's co-op. So
Yeah. And
I don't
that's
know
the
if I
bad thing,
really,
right?
yeah, I
That's the
don't know if it
bad thing
bothers
is that
me. So
yeah. Yeah, it's like the three of us are all about co-op based games, right?
yeah,
I don't mind. I don't want to say that I hate competitive games, but I don't lean into them as much, only because I like to to have fun with the people I'm playing with. And
hmm
when you play competitive games, I've seen the toxicity that comes from that stuff. Magic. But I've watched the tournament of Magic, and I was like, you know what? This is not for me because somebody's gonna say something that's gonna tick me off. So I was like, I'm gonna stay away from it. But but the cooperative games are cool because you get the right group. We're always
yeah,
talking, always getting stuff going, so it works.
absolutely.
I if they go back to competitive, I probably might not be part of that. I'll just stay with Title Blades 2 and then move on to something else.
Yeah, yeah, it's very cool, and yeah, I'm the same way. I used to play Magic in tournaments too. I've seen it. I've been there. So
I
I
don't know
remember.
what it is. I don't know what it is about like competitive games that there are a few people who will play it and be like, "All right, I'm playing for fun and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
lost. Okay, good game, shake hands, thanks a
right.
lot," and leave. But then there's that few who's I must destroy you and make you feel less than me.
Yeah, I remember distinctly. I was playing with someone in a Magic tournament, and they made a mistake. Oh, don't worry, just take it back. It's fine. We're having fun in this tournament. And it wasn't. It was just like
Yeah.
a local tournament, not like a ranked thing or anything. And so sometime later, I made a mistake. Hey, you might have a take back. He's like, no. I'm like, oh, okay. Let's see how this is. So,
Oh man,
anyway,
yeah, yeah. That's the thing. If you're not playing for fun and
right.
you're playing to be a jerk,
Yep.
nah.
Play to win, but also play to have fun. You can do both.
Yeah, you can play to win, but you can have fun while doing it, right?
Exactly.
If someone's
Exactly.
like, "Oh, I messed up," can I pull it? Yeah, I don't care. Pull it back. I don't care. Let's make this fun.
Right. Totally. But yeah, this one is cool. I like this one. I like how the books line up and you can explore different areas. It looks the art is fantastic in this game. That was another selling
It
point for me.
it looks very vibrant, and
It
so
is.
I'm super pumped to get the books together and try those out.
Yep. But cool, yeah. This one I played a few times. Like I said, I was really impressed, and this one I did want it back. So Title Blades.
Okay,
Okay, let's keep going.
let's keep going. Do it.
Let's do it. Moving on to number three. Number three is this is one that you shouldn't be surprised seeing on my list if you know anything about me. So it is Earth Under Siege. What? A stealth game made it on this list? Yeah, I know.
Shoot self in
Surprise.
face.
Exactly.
I think my thing for stealth games is I'm horrible at it, so
Sure.
therefore I stay away from it.
That's fair.
And that's why, when you see it, when you saw us play Malia, I wanted us to move past the stealth part of that, but it's just because I'm not good at. I will full well admit I'm not good at stealth games. I think I just kind of lose the patience for, all right, sneak here, wait. It's like, no, I want to kill that guy.
Fair
It's
enough.
like, no, you can't kill that guy. Don't kill that guy yet. Yeah, but go ahead. What do you think?
Yeah, so Earth Under Siege is a big, heavy tactical game. This is like a sci-fi dungeon crawler. Honestly, it's if I were to assign it to an IP, it'd be probably something similar to XCOM in box. Honestly, feels that way because you're like humans, trying to take back Earth because aliens have invaded. It is a huge game. Actually, Snow mentioned here says, "I have no idea why I skipped this one. I'm sure it was some sophisticated reason like too big pass," which is very true. This is a huge game, huge game. What was this game? I missed it. This game is Earth Under Siege Flashpoint. Like I said, it's a big
Yeah.
sci-fi dungeon crawl, heavy tactical play. There's a lot of rules in this one. A lot of rules, a lot of things going on. High replayability because so each character. Let me describe how this game works a little bit. It sounds like some people haven't seen this one yet. Um, so you have different characters, and you have these action pools. And let's see if I show a picture of it real quick. There should be a picture here someplace. Oh my gosh, so many things unlocked. I just want to see the gameplay stuff. Okay, well, there's actions you can do on your character, and then there's also free actions from cards you play in your hand. And those you spend those to play cards in your hand or do some basic effects as well. And each card has a top effect and a bottom effect. And the top effect is kind of the normal way of playing the card. And bottom effect, you can actually boost it for a stronger version of that same effect, which is really cool. Hey, Jan, welcome. Happy to see you here.
Hey, what's going on?
And so the card play is great in this one. I was really engaged in how that works. There's a lot of mitigation because you get discard cards to re-roll dice. For example, there's dice rolling in this one as well. So just be aware of that. And then you have different equipment you can put on your characters. You got armor, gear. You can even go into armories in the game and steal the enemy weapons, or if you're really lucky, find alien tech. But if you find alien tech like alien gun, you have to like learn how to use it before you can actually use it, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it is a big, heavy game. Lots of things on. You also, before you enter every mission, you can choose a mode of attack. So here's the mission. Here's the goal. I can choose to cut the power of the building before I go into it, and now I'm going to have like different. I have night vision goggles, for example, and
Oh,
it's going to
okay.
be hard for people to spot me. But then they're also more aware of my presence. So like you can do with that approach. You can do breach and clear, which now okay. I now have things to like cameras. I can go underneath the doors to peek inside the rooms before I break into it. And then you can have like different tactical events where I can move in there and then everyone else can shoot. So you can like these coordinated attacks and everything. Very very cooperative in this one for sure as well. Enemy AI out there, which I enjoyed. There's a lot of dice, a lot of tokens. This is a huge game, for sure.
13 dice. Do you get to roll them all?
No, not on.
Is it like Eldritch Horror where you get to roll everything?
Yes, you always roll the white dice, and then you can upgrade to red dice in some situations as well.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh, okay. So it's like Infinity Defiance. where you have upgrade dice.
I'm not sure. I don't know Infinity Defiance, but probably sounds
Uh,
like it.
well, yeah, Infinity Defiance was a game created by Corvus Belli,
Hmm.
where the one cool mechanic that it had that I really loved was when you had dice just like Descent, right?
Hmm.
Where there are there's different colors which allow for harder hits, or you start off with weaker hits. But you also had defense dice, and the thing is when you roll the dice, you rolled yours and the enemy's dice together. So if they're defending, you roll their defense die and your attack die. And the cool thing about it is that they can hit you on your turn. So if
Oh,
they
that's cool.
roll like a shield and a strike, and you roll just two strikes, they'll block one of yours and hit you back, and you'll hit them. You'll hit them for how much ever damage you do, and then on their turn, you do the same thing. So I'm wondering if it's like that. If like the 13 dice means that it's upgrade. It doesn't have the hit back mechanic, but if it has the upgrade dice mechanic.
No, this one's very different in that I think you only roll for yourself. So like, the enemies will always attack with a set value, and they always defend with a set value. So you are rolling
Okay.
to
Okay.
exceed that value, for example, or in some
Okay.
fashion.
Okay. Okay.
But you have a lot of mitigation, so you have ways of like, oh, I really need to upgrade my dice to red one, which has no misses on it at all. It's always gonna be a hit, and in some fashion, that's just what range of hits you can get. And the white one
Okay.
definitely has misses on it.
Gotcha.
And,
Gotcha.
and this one on TTS, I believe it is. I'm not positive on that. It's been a while. I did play the physical prototype on this one, but I'll have to double check. I know there was one supposed to be coming at some point. I think it might have got added. But yeah, this one is a very, very involved, very fun one. I enjoyed this one quite a bit. But you talk about tiles. This one's got lots of tiles. So, another game. So, um, yeah. But basically, if you think XCOM in board game form, you'll be pretty close to what you expect in this one.
Okay.
Yep, Earth Under Siege. So I really, really enjoyed this one. I was surprised. But like I said, heavy, heavy tactics.
Okay.
Okay, let's keep going. Moving on. Snow, I remember why you passed school. Good. I'm glad you remembered. So, okay. Let's keep going to our number two. Number two.
Number two.
So this one we both played. So I'm talking about this one. This one is probably a surprise to people. I don't know if many people looked into it, but I wound up loving this one, and that was Deep Rock Galactic.
Yep. We began playing this, and then my internet went out. So we did finish this one just kind of off screen. However, I'm going to be rescheduling Steve and I to play this coming Thursday, so we can play through live on stream, so you can get a taste for it. So far from what I can't play the IP game because it's first person. I can't play first person.
Yeah,
But I can play. I am curious about it. It seemed a lot of fun. So I'm very curious to Thursday. I think will seal seal the deal one way or another for me.
yeah, definitely. Jan, I gotta pull this up. Is this the one stream where we don't talk Marvel United?
Oh, there's this game that we previewed
Yeah.
called Marvel United.
Speaking of which, just kidding, just kidding.
Just kidding.
Um, but yeah, Deep Rock Galactic. I didn't know this IP at all. I saw the board game. Sounded cool. I reached out and luckily was able to get a preview of this. Played it. We wound up playing this multiple times every day. Like it just hit hard at my house. We loved it. Kept replaying it. My son was just enthralled with how it worked and everything. And it's just it's a fun game. It feels to me like Gears of War-ish type, that like genre or that type of game. It's nothing like Gears of War. Let me just be clear, but it feels like that part of the collection, I would say.
Okay.
And like I didn't know the IP at all. And then after I loved the game so much, I wound up checking out the video game, and now I'm playing the video game, which is a really fun game. Now I understand some of the things in the game, so but
It's all making
it's
sense.
coming together, right? But yeah, this one you are playing as dwarves employed at a mining company. The mining company is called Deep Rock Galactic, And Deep Rock Galactic is a company that doesn't really care about you. They're like, you know what? We need some mine. We need these minerals. Go down there. There might be some alien bugs, and once you get to me in the minerals, we're going to leave, whether you're on this ship or not, to come back home. But we'll see what happens. So that's kind of like the premise of the game. So,
That's awesome.
and what made the board game interesting to me is the fact that the board itself you can manipulate. So if like in most dungeon crawl type games or dudes on a map type thing, you've got line of sight, of course, and angles. Well, this one, um, this big bad guy just spawned right next to the spot I need to go to. You know what? I'm going to drill. I'm going to cut out a mine a wall to make a path around him to get behind him to get to where I need to go. Right. And that's something that was very unique. I've never seen in other board games. That really opened up the strategies. We're like, oh man, I'm in line of sight. Let me cut a hole so I can dunk out a line of sight, or run some. I mean, chased by this giant alien monster. Maybe I'll just cut my way through the walls before he catches up to me, for example, right? So it
Yeah.
added a lot to it for me.
Sounds
And
cool though.
yeah, this one you've got 4 different classes, and they're all very unique classes, and they all are cooperative and how they can help each other out, which is really fun. I enjoy how that works. You got
Okay.
you can you go around trying to do objective. The objective is normally go get minerals and bring it back to the ship. Um, and during at some point you can call in a resupply pod to get more ammo and stuff because you only have limited number of ammo and supplies. And I think the big con for this one is the limited mission variety. But I've looked at the mission since it completed, and they've already added mission types in the core box, which is I was not expecting. But I know the designers did say that hey, we are going to add a lot more mission types. It is coming back to Kickstarter. It is going to come back with more content. They just want to get this in people's hands as fast as possible now, so they can enjoy it, and then they're going to flush it out with even more of that. Because in the video game, there's tons of mission types. For example, like an escort mission where you're riding on this giant drill as it goes through the cave system to get to a rare mineral you have to get, or you have to build pipes to go extract some liquid minerals, for example. But yeah,
Okay.
this one was really fun. Dice rolling this one too. So
Okay. And I had asked you this earlier, but we're just gonna just re-ask for state of the chat. Is that this game, the missions are, and I'll use I'll use the name of the game, but not it's not like this game at all. But the missions are like Zombicide, where it is one mission. When you're done, restart, kind of go back to base, and then the next mission's a completely different mission. You're starting your character from scratch and you're just playing it off. So there's not a campaign. It's just more one mission, one mission, one mission, until you get through all the missions.
yeah, that is the primary way to play it. I feel like, but there's also a deep dive mode where you will play one missions after another, and then
Hmm.
there's some level of persistence between them. But it's not like, oh, I'm leveling up, I'm getting this new ability. You have your abilities. You're not going to
Yeah,
get new abilities in this one. You'll get new gear. You'll have to manage your equipment. You'll get new rock and stone cards, which gives cool effects. But that's basically the limits of it. So
yeah,
it's
and it's not a bad thing. I mean, we're like in this weird space right now in the community, gaming community, where we're inundated with campaigns. Here's a campaign. You got 100+ hours, and then this other one has 400+hours, and this one has a ton of hours. And it's gotten to the point where you can't play it all. You'd love to play it all. You'd love to get into it, but you can't play it all. So therefore, having a game that has just one-offs, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to have.
it's
I
actually
think
a good
this,
thing for me too, because I get tired of the
yeah,
campaign. Like for me, I
yeah.
don't worry. I like playing campaigns, but more than one campaign at a time is just no. It's too much, and they take too long. Like I'll
Yeah.
get back to like Right Busters. Right Busters campaign is only 6 missions. Like I love that. Like give me a campaign, I can get through it, I can have fun. Then I'll come back and replay it. It's not that long. It's no big deal, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
kind of
I
wish we
think
had more of that than the 50 and 100 campaigns
yeah.
like some games.
Yeah, and I think that's where games like, and I'm gonna pull some old schoolers out, but they're still relevant. People still love them. Is
Hmm.
Mansions of Madness? Great story.
Hmm.
Wrap it up and you're done. you know, um,
Right.
Arkham Horror LCG. They have they have their the I don't want to call it mythos. I forgot what it's called. But they have the mini campaign. You play through a set, and after you're done, wrap it up. You could go on to another set, but your characters are done, the story's done, that type of thing. Like I like long campaigns just like the next person, but I think like the short game especially with how shipping and production and everything is, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing more games start coming out with the short quote unquote campaigns happening now. Like we'll start seeing more of those start to appear.
Yep. Sure. Yeah, I'm all for short campaigns for sure. Okay. Yeah, this one was fun. This one was easy to get to table. It plays pretty fast, like an hour. So I appreciate that as well. Okay, let's keep going. Moving on to number uno.
What
And I
could
think
it be?
exactly. If you know me, this you probably already know what this is, and it's not Marvel United.
It should be. It
It
better be
should
Marvel
be.
United.
It should be.
Jan has asked for it to be Marvel United.
That's right. No, no. This one is awesome, and it's one we've also played, and we'll be playing again in the near future as well. And that is Leviathan Wilds. So this one isn't on Kickstarter yet. It's coming in a few weeks. I'm gonna say like 2 or 3 weeks or something like that. I have to
Yeah,
double check. I should have looked before we started streaming here.
that's okay.
Um, but yeah, this is an awesome game. I love this one. I can't get enough of it. I played easily between 10 and 15 times already. It's not even not Kickstarter yet. So
And launching July 12th, so 10 days. It'll
there you
be
go,
out.
July 12th. Yep.
And it's yeah, Shadow of the Colossus was that's an old school goodie for me. Like I love that game so much. A
Hmm.
lot of fond memories of the giant like leaning down and trying to grab your character. Um, the game's been out long enough that if people are like, yeah, I don't know what the story is, too bad. But to find out that you're actually the bad guy in that story, I think like the whole thing was just cool.
Yeah.
This kind of puts Shadow of the Colossus in board game format. So I'm really interested in that.
Yeah, I like how this is in a book. You open the book and it's just a giant leviathan. You have to climb on them. The goal is to heal them by knocking off these corruption crystals on them. Basically, you can knock off all the crystals, you win the game.
Yeah,
And you lose the game is if someone gets eliminated and you have one last round, and that's basically it.
and
And
that you could fall off.
you can
Like that's
fall
so
off.
cool.
I know. Yeah, so you imagine your grip strength as you're climbing up. You'll get tired after a while because your game's represented by a deck of cards, and as the deck runs out, you don't have a deck anymore. Guess what? You fall, and so you have to like find these safe spots on the Leviathan to stop, rest, recuperate, and shuffle your deck and keep going. And it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of nice things in it. The cooperation is very high because you can play cards on anybody's turn, and you're always engaged because of that. And the you can actually customize the characters as well, which is really cool because you can say, you know what, I want this character and mix it with this class. So there's some. You're probably going to start with a character and class in the beginning, but at some point you'll be able to switch them out because you can be like, you know what, I really like the character. I'm trying to think of the character name Hazard, for example. I want to give him gadgets, so I'll put a gadget to your class on him. And then each Leviathan also has their own unique approach as they play through. Because that was my one big hesitation when I played this game originally was I wasn't sure there's going to be a lot of variety, but it definitely feels that way.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean it's variety as much as it can be, right?
Yeah.
But it's still a good set of variety that's on there. I'm excited to play this, to back this, and get into it only because it's like once again short, quick game. You know, climb to the top, try to knock down those corruption crystals, work as a team, and it comes in a book.
Yeah.
Like it checks a lot of boxes for me. So I I don't think there's not a lot of dice rolling. It's just card play on this one. The dice are just purely to symbolize the strength of the corruption crystals, if I'm correct.
That's correct. Yep. Yeah, Dan mentioned a good comment here. He said, I had no idea this was a company of industry veterans from Fantasy Flight Games that got transferred to Z-Man, then let go. So they started this company. So these are veteran designers and developers who made this game. And yeah, it's
Yeah,
very, very well done. Very clean.
yeah, yeah. Very
The,
beautiful art.
mhm.
I keep calling them the Colossus, right? All the different Colossus.
So true.
but the different I forgot what they call them in this game. Is it the Leviathans? All
Yeah,
the different Leviathans are vibrant and beautiful. I think the artwork is fantastic.
that's definitely. Yeah, and they have unique mechanics in a lot of them too. So which is really, really cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, the other thing I wanted to mention too is I really enjoyed the planning part of this one because every turn you flip over a threat card and that's like something bad that's coming that's going to affect you or multiple people, for example. But then you can the players have the ability to play their actions, and so you can maybe evade or get out of that threat, for example, which made a lot of sense because if you're John Leviathan, you see he's going to swing and swat at you. You see the hand coming. It's coming. It's going to hurt, but it's moving pretty slow, so you got a chance to get
It's
out of
up
the
to you
way.
if you're gonna, yeah. And I think that's cool too. Yeah, it,
Mhm.
it kind of gives that sense of the size of the creature. It's like the
Yeah.
hand's coming. Yes, I see it coming. I see. Do I have enough ability to get out of the way?
Absolutely. And this has a little bit of a campaign vibe to it as well, where as you play through the different ones, you unlock cards that will help in later Leviathans as you go through it. And then
Mhm.
if you do well enough, because there's going to be like an achievement scale for each Leviathan, you can then unlock even better cards if you perform well, for example, um, and new abilities and stuff. So very, very excited for this one. I am all in when it launches on, what do you say, the 12th?
Well,
Yes, the 12th.
yeah, that's all.
Yeah, I
Yeah, yeah,
can't
I'm
wait.
in on this one too. It lots of I'm lots of good vibes of childhood memories for this game. So I'm all about this game.
Absolutely. Cool. Well, yeah, that's the list. That's the top five. There were some. I can do some other games that didn't make the cut. We can talk about those real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah.
What do
Let's see what did make the cut.
did you have anything you want to bring up real quick before we jump to that?
For me, so I like I said, I'm still new in the space, so a lot of the previews I've done is with Steve and Bairnt have been fantastic and let me just kind of tag along and play some of those games, which I'm super grateful for. I think um I was able to preview one, which was Fire for Light, but that campaign got halted, and I think they're supposed to be coming back for it. Is by Greenbrier Games. It was to me it was an interesting game. It was a crafting game. So it was a crafting. There was some fighting, but you can borrow from other characters to do different things if you're playing true solo. And it had an interesting vibe to it to see how it would work out. But I haven't heard anything back to see when that game's going to come back or if it's going to come back. Um, but hopefully it doesn't die on the vine. It had an interesting. It had potential and I would have loved to have seen more of it. But that I think that was one of the ones that didn't make the cut only because it was canceled.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. Yeah, because I previewed about 10 games so far this year. So there's five other ones that didn't quite make it. Yeah, I think there are way too many games. That's the exact right to know. There's just too many to keep track of. It's just impossible to
Yeah,
play them all and
yeah.
even be aware of all of them. Um, but yeah, there's a game coming up soon that I'm pretty excited for. It's called Davy Jones' Locker, and it is a cooperative pirate game because there's a lot of pirate games out there, but none of them are cooperative. And not only is this a cooperative pirate game, but it's got a Kraken in it. So I mean, like, can't go
I
wrong. I
mean,
mean, gotta have a Kraken. Gotta have a Kraken.
you got if you got a pirate game and no Kraken, what are you doing?
Exactly.
That's like having a desert game and no spice worm, right? No dune worm. What are you
Right.
doing?
But yeah, I'll be providing some coverage for that one as it comes up here in the near future. That's been fun. I enjoy that one. So it's got two acts where you first act you're kind of adventuring, leveling up, improving your ship, and the second act working together in this giant whirlpool fighting this kraken. It's pretty cool. Very cool.
Is it? I'm curious about it. Like, so are you just kind of working with the dev right now to just see, when you'll stream it?
Yeah, he already had prototypes sent out to some reviewers. He's
Okay.
going to send one my way, I think, as well. But there's a TTS mod, so we can play it anytime. So,
Okay.
Jan, hey, if you don't, then you're cracking. Like, nice, nice shot.
Bah, dum-dum,
Dad jokes,
yes.
dad jokes. I love it.
Yeah, I think, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, guys, keep going.
No, no, I think that was it for me in terms of the previewed games. Now,
Mhm.
next week, I've got a bigger list of things that we've played so far and where they stack up to. But hopefully, we'll have our Mr. Bear back and we can go
Yeah,
through that for sure.
yeah. Next week will be a really fun one because release games are always exciting to see how that actually turns out for sure. But yeah, I played that. Drop Bear is another one I've been playing recently, which is a game that I think is going to be very decisive for people. Because when you first play, it feels very luck dependent, especially since you can have like your character get one shotted by a carnivorous koala, aka Drop Bear. But there's a lot of luck mitigation in it that's not always apparent. So that one didn't make my list because of that hesitation. I don't know if people would. The more I play, the more I like it, and I've had some really exciting games, really tense games for sure. But
Okay.
that could also that could swing people negatively potentially for that one. We played other games. Malia is one we played together, which was really fun. That was holy kitchen sink Batman, right? Like let's have everything in one game. So
Yeah, yeah. I think people who have backed Malia will enjoy Malia.
I think so.
I'll say that. I don't want the dev to ever feel like, okay, well, I'm tearing down this game. I'm not. I'm not. I think it fits it fits the genre and it fits that genre well. For me, it's not for me only
Sure.
because as a solo player, as a streaming solo player, that is too much, and I will do it in injustice.
It would
So
be fantastic with a dedicated group for sure.
with a dedicated group, it would be fantastic.
Hmm.
Agreed. Agreed.
The procedural open world nature of it was just blew my mind. Like they did a really awesome
Yeah.
job with that one.
Yeah. Yeah. That was cool. Sandbox world walking is always a win for me. I mean,
Hmm.
I know like on my collection over here, a lot of them are that.
Hmm.
So I love that about it. The day night mechanic, all that other stuff. I think it's got what it takes. It's just I think it's too much for me at this moment.
Yeah, that's fair. Very fair. Cool. I think that's all we got for today then. What do you have coming up in your channel, Kanji?
Let's see. Tomorrow we're going back into Stars of Icarios for playthrough number 3. I finished the prologue through a lot of hours of gameplay, so we're getting into Act 1 of 3 and, and seeing how the story unfolds. It's a fun game. It's a lot of fun. The ship battle stuff is fun. I can see where a lot of people be like, it's feeling samey, but I don't mind that because my character ships get built out, and that's how dungeon crawlers work. It's a dungeon crawler in space. The planet side exploration stuff is cool too in terms of decision making. So that is Sunday. Then every day next week, because I'm on vacation, I'm gonna try to stream something. Um,
Oh
I
wow.
usually do my well, I usually do my I say something. So I usually do my lunchtime streams twice a week where I stream for 1 hour and play Darkest Dungeon. So I'll be doing that every day next week at noon Eastern, and then like my regular schedule of Tuesday, Thursday.
Hmm.
Thursday, you and I will be playing Deep Rock Galactic. This
Yes.
time with internet.
With internet.
And Tuesday will probably be more Stars of Icarios, and then Friday, Gloomhaven Digital. Saturday, this wonderful chat, and then Sunday, more Stars Vicarious. I'm playing it, and then when Oathsworn delivers, I don't want anybody to be mad with me because that's all I'm going to be playing is Oathsworn. So if you're like, hey, 10 billion other streamers have done Oathsworn, cool, I'll be one of them. Not for the clicks, not for the views, because I've been anticipating. I don't know if you've never followed me before, if you've never heard of me before, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. But since the designer was talking about the creation of the minis and how he sculpted them, I've been following this game. Like I've said, this game is going to be the game. And so when it arrives, I'm treating it like I'm treating it how people treated like Dark Souls when it came out, or what's the Elden Ring? Like,
Yeah,
some
yeah,
people
yeah.
got into Elden Ring and it was like Elden Ring. That's Oathsworn for me. What
It's a good
about you? What
one.
do you got going?
Let's see. Well, I got some comments here I want to tackle. So Snow mentioned the games that are coming up that I played are completely different from this list, which not surprised at
well,
all.
well,
Too many
that
games.
you said that you've played. The stuff that's here are kind of these are the games that we've previewed. Next week is the games that we've played, and I've
Yes,
got a list for you. I've got a big old list for you.
it
I
should be
think
a
we're
good
doing a
one.
top 10 on that one.
Jan mentioned anyone playing Assassin's Creed. I don't think anyone's playing it now. I know Kim and I we did the full campaign,
Yep.
so you can
Yep.
want to check that out. So
Yeah, you
that is an
did.
awesome game. We loved it. It gets better and better as you go. Let's see. DRG is so good. Successful Geek also likes Deep Rock Galactic. Yeah, it's really fun. It's a really fun game. Looking forward to Oathsworn. Cool. Okay. Awesome.
All right, so what do you got
Yes.
going on this week?
Not entirely sure with the holidays coming up, so the schedule is going to be changed. But I know we had this request to, sorry, Jan, to play Marvel United.
Marvel
So,
United.
no, we had requested to play Dark Phoenix, so we're gonna take a Dark Phoenix at some point during this week. I'm not sure what date it's gonna fall on exactly. And then yesterday, I finally got my copy of Stars of Carios, so I'm hoping to hit that to the channel and start that campaign going with Kim. So I'm gonna look at when that's gonna fall on the schedule exactly. It's probably gonna be this coming week. I'm not sure when because of the holidays, so it's gonna be a little bit of a different week, I would say, for scheduling wise. And then of course, Saturday we'll do our games we've recently played, or not recently played, sorry, games we've played so far in 2022, and which ones made the list. So that will be
Yep.
with all three of us. Should be fun.
Yep, and it'll be fun. Fun
Okay,
shall be had.
that's all I got. You got anything else you want to mention?
I think we just lost Steve.
Oh, watch your audio.
uh,
I don't hear Kanji anymore for suddenly. Okay, well that's okay. We're at the end of the stream anyways, so I guess we'll do waves goodbye. So, well, thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you at the next stop. Bye bye.